All right. So I decided today I would do a video that's a little out of the ordinary. About a year ago, I filmed a live, actually. It's not even on like my whole video list. I did it live for some reason, just to test it out. But anyways, the point I'm getting to is I wanted to share my Franken collection. Basically everything I own now that is Frankened in some way, shape, or form. And I've recently decluttered a number of my Franken eyeshadows and powders. Didn't keep those, but I'll talk about the ones that I did keep. And I've pretty much Frankened every single possible like makeup product, even skincare product. Not that be careful with, especially with the skincare ones, but it's been fun. It's honestly been really, really fun. So let's jump into it. I don't have all the Frankens that I've ever done, but I think it's nice to kind of get a snapshot maybe year to year about things that I've done. So I'm just going to grab and pull really. Okay, so starting with powders, I do not currently have a pressed powder. I kind of have one, like a pseudo one. I'll show that in a minute, but this one's not a pressed, this one's not a Franken one. So sorry to start off with a dud, but I do have a powder one, like a loose powder one. So this is the one I have here. I should have pulled out my bag of the things I mix in here, but it's like a powder sunscreen. I have just like a straight up like banana powder from Ben Nye that I have in here, and then I sometimes throw in like whatever, either I scrape in something or if I have a loose powder something. I think the next time I Franken that one, I'll probably actually use my my kind of graveyard eyeshadow thing here, just a little bit, just to kind of deepen up the tone, because the banana powder and the very stark white sunscreen powder, it's a little light for me, so just to deepen it up just a little bit. This one's a cool Franken. So this one, that's this one right here. This one is a kind of a, I call it the Chaos palette. As you can see here, I already have some pans, which is very cool. Sorry, the lighting is not doing justice. But yeah, it's just like a number of shades in here that I wasn't using, and I was inspired by an Estee Lauder palette, I think, that was like panless, just everything kind of mushed together. I mean, of course, Estee Lauder's had like a pattern to theirs, and I just threw mine in there, but it's actually worked quite well. And then on the bottom, because this is a MAC powder one, they have the little compartment here for a puff. So I threw a few, then none of these are Franken, are they? No, this one is. I actually Franken this one with my daughter. And I like totally warped the pan. So you can see it's like not a round shape. But this is a speckled one, which is very fun. I can swatch it for you. It's like, you just don't know what, I think it just pulls off like a muted purple, actually. It's not a very exciting color, but the pan itself is really cool. So I have that in there. Okay, that's what I have in there. In my day-to-day palette here, I have two Frankens mainly. This one is like, I think this one most of this tone is from the Rosewood from Burberry, which is a very taupey color. I don't know why it's called Rosewood, because it doesn't look like rose at all, but maybe Rosewood is a taupey color. I don't know. But yeah, this one, there's a little bit of speckles in there, so that's kind of how you can tell. It is, yeah, still taupey toned, this one here. This one's actually a Franken of a sample. I got like a Laura Mercier blush sample, quite dark, very fall toned, and I was like, this is very dark, very pigmented. So I ended up mixing it up with a little bit of primer and also my concealer slash foundation. I have it in front of me, just this one here. So that's that in that one. Okay, I think talking about, so this is the Franken foundation that is too light for me. The other one is not Franken, but this one's too light for me, and I hope to pull this back in soon so that I can finish it up. But I Franken a number of other things in here before: liquid highlighter, liquid contour, foundation, of course. Yeah, this has gone through a lot. So, but yes, this is a nice bottle, so I keep this around. All right, let's see what is next. Let's go through some eyeshadows. This is kind of in my just in my side palette here. So let's see, this one is a Franken blush, Franken bronzer. Sorry, nails are done by kids, so that's why they don't look great. Franken bronzer. This one is not Franken. Up here, not Franken. Okay, this is the one like pressed Franken powder I have. It's actually mainly a translucent powder, but just kind of press some other colors in there to deepen it up. This one looks like was a Franken. Yeah, it's gotta be. But it looks like a legit color. Oh, it's very, very pigmented. I'm not exactly sure when I actually made that, but it's a nice tone, so I'll keep it. Any other Franken colors in here? This one too. I think once you can tell it's like has a bit of speckles to it, that's usually telling that I Franken at some point. Much cooler tone one there, not quite black, but kind of like a dark olive type tone. I like that. And I think that's it for this one. So that's that one. And then have my other, I think this one's whatever's left. I don't even think any of these are Franken. So these are more like Franken like possibilities. So like, you know, shades I don't really have other place for. This is the Laura Mercier blush that I was talking about, very, very pigmented. So I'll keep Frankening that one. I have some lip balms in here that could use some Frankening. So yeah, that's just kind of my spot for those. And then for lip products, I always have a Franken gloss kicking around. Franken balm. This is actually only after like a week of use. This was a very, very sheer color. Put it under my watch there. Super sheer. Been enjoying it a lot though. And then, oh, this one's a cool Franken. I did not remember to pull this in. This is a split pan. Still keeping that around. Don't use that a ton. This is a bronzer that is now in my old rosewood packaging, mainly from a MAC bronzer that I had on hand. Really enjoy that one. Franken a little bit of foundation in here. So you can see it's a mix of a dark bronzer and a foundation. So always doing little things like that just to kind of test out the concept. And then obviously mascara, I'm constantly putting weird applicators onto tubes and seeing how it works out. This is one of those iron wands. I did a makeup date and specifically introduced that. Hoping I won't mess it up. I already cracked the packaging, which is not recommended, but it's one of these ones. These applicators are like kind of new and kicking around the market. I think TikTok might have gotten hot on TikTok. So, but I've heard about them already and I think it'll work out with my needs. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I'm constantly using random things for random things. So like, you know, lip liners as cream, bronzer, and blush right now, but that's not really a Franken. That's just kind of repurposing things. But yeah, not a ton more. Oh, I had these ones kicking around. These are also lip ones. This is a Franken lipstick. This one's a good bit amount more pigmented, but it's not very stable in here, so I'm not very happy about the way this one got packaged. I might end up Frankening that. And then this is used to be a MAC. What's the right way to, okay, back this way. This is a MAC lipstick that actually is pretty similar to the original tone that it had, but a little bit, I just sheared it out in my Franken formula. So not a ton more left of this one actually. So I'm just trying to work through this one, Franken it here and there, depending on what I need it for. And then skincare wise, I think the only skincare Franken I have right now is actually like a micellar water / toner thing. Wouldn't recommend doing this actually, but it happened, so I'm just going to work through it. But I've also Frankened. I wouldn't suggest Frankening serums because there's just active ingredients in there. I've Franken moisturizers before, I've Franken primers, Franken sunscreens, which again, do with caution. Done toners here and there, setting spray I've done from time to time. But yeah, none of those are actively in my collection. So it's like nice to know that I have experience with them, but yeah, it's kind of weird to see my Franken collection is a little smaller these days. But yeah, still enjoying a lot of these things. Excited to work through a few things here and to, you know, always just kind of be creative with it and be willing to try out Frankening whenever I feel like a product isn't working for me. I don't know if I have any upcoming Frankens. That'd be interesting to talk about too. I don't think so. I think I'm just learning how to repurpose some things. Like I have the glycolic acid toner from The Ordinary, and I've been repurposing that as like to like help with ingrown hairs and things like that instead of on my face because it is a little too sensitive for that. Balms and such like that I'm trying to work into my, you know, now my kind of fall makeup look. And just recently got back into pressed powders, so trying to figure that out and kind of where I can go from there, especially with me also wanting to work through my loose powders. And I've also just recently pared down my collection to the point where I really only have one of a lot of things, or like only very minimal options for a lot of things. So I just feel like I can just work through those instead of feeling like I need to be mixing things a ton because like I don't enjoy my experience with something else. So that's kind of where I'm at. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.